Michael Bisping criticizes Jake Paul's victory over Mike Perry as bullshit show. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping has expressed his discontent with Jake Paul's recent boxing match against Mike Perry, which Bisping termed a bullshit show. Jake Paul, a polarizing figure in combat sports, has found success generating revenue in boxing but struggles to gain respect within the community. On Saturday, Paul secured his 10th career boxing victory by defeating former UFC fighter and undefeated Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship competitor Mike Perry. During his UFC tenure, Perry competed in the 170-pound division. Paul's rise in boxing has been marked by victories over former UFC fighters, primarily welterweights. In his third professional match, Paul knocked out former Bellator MMA welterweight champion Ben Askren in under 2 minutes. He later defeated former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley via split decision, and then knocked out Woodley in a rematch. Paul continued his winning streak by defeating former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva via unanimous decision. Despite losing to his first professional boxer opponent Tommy Fury, Paul bounced back with a unanimous decision win over former UFC lightweight and welterweight Nate Diaz. His subsequent 2 bouts were against inactive professional boxers, both of which he won by knockout. Initially scheduled to face Mike Tyson on Saturday at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Paul had to adjust his plans due to a medical issue that forced Tyson to postpone their fight to November 15th. To stay active, Paul opted to fight Perry instead. Bisping criticized the match, accusing Paul of cherry-picking opponents and fighting smaller athletes. Coming into this fight, I think myself, the whole fight community, everyone was behind Mike Perry, but the reality was he was too small. There are weight classes in boxing, in combat sports for a reason, Bisping said on his YouTube channel. Jake Paul was about twice the size of him. The weight difference is going to be insane. Well done, Jake Paul, if that's what you want to see. That was a farce. That was ridiculous. That fight should have never even taken place in the first place because it was a shade show, Bisping continued. Jake Paul was by far the bigger guy, and as I've said, there are weight classes for a reason. Bisping, a vocal critic of Paul, has even contemplated coming out of retirement to face the problem child. He accused Paul of cherry-picking opponents who are significantly smaller and less experienced. Jake Paul grinds my gears. Let's be honest, he does because of all the shit talk of how great that he thinks that he is, Bisping stated. He cherry-picks these opponents that are way smaller and less experienced.